Hey friends, Hanshi Boone here. And so this is a plaque that we have up in our office. I don't think many people actually see it since it sits above the seat where most parents sit, but it basically says, parents, please do not sign up your child if you are just going to let them quit when it gets tough or tedious. It goes on to tell why, and you can pause the video to read the rest if you want, but I'm going to go into some detail here. Many parents bring their kids in because they are letting their kids try out different activities to figure out which one they want to do. I don't think that that's a bad idea. There are lots of things they might become interested in, but there are some things that you shouldn't give them choices in. They just aren't qualified to make those choices yet. If your kid has no interest in learning to swim, but you live in Florida and there's water everywhere, they need to learn to swim. And guess what decision you're going to make for them? If your child doesn't like eating healthily, going to bed on time, doesn't want to go to school, doesn't want to brush their teeth, guess what decisions you're going to have to make for them? The world is a violent place, and your child needs to be able to be on the top of the ladder when it comes to being able to dish out violence when someone acts with violence upon them. Also, just imagine their confidence level if they're not able to respond, and just the threat alone can really, really hurt them emotionally. And the odds are good that it's going to happen. But it's more than that. The lessons they can learn from this training is beyond anything else they can that they can actually go and do. I know my specialty is in recreational therapy. I've looked at all of the different activities that adults and kids can do, and that's why I do this. So believe me, I know. Now, some parents bring their kids in just to shut them up about martial arts because they go on and on about it. Please, if this isn't important to you, then it won't be important to them. And you're just wasting your time, my time, and their opportunity to train. Be excited for them and tell them how much you love watching them train. Never complain about the drive, the weight, or the cost, because they want to please you more than anyone else in the world. You will sabotage their entire efforts and ours. So let me ask you some important questions. Do you know someone who is super educated but not successful? Do you know someone with no real education and yet they are very successful? Education, charm, social skills, and a work ethic will get you a long way in life, but real success is driven by three things: confidence, self-discipline, and perseverance. How do I know? I've watched hundreds, literally hundreds of businesses come and go in my 4 decades running my business in Manatee County. All failed from a lack of those three things. Where can your child learn those three things? I'll let you guess. All right, imagine they're working towards their next stripe on their belt and they don't pass the first time, but you and I help them to see it through and try again, maybe multiple times until they pass. Imagine they're in a sparring match and they are up against someone of superior skill and they can't seem to get a shot in, but we work together to encourage them until they get that score and get that point. And now, what about when they are working towards their next goal and it requires they practice the same set of techniques over and over again multiple times? But it's difficult with their lack of focus and ADHD. If we work together and get them through it, what will they learn? Their confidence will increase. They will focus better. They will know how to persevere and how to have self-discipline. Now, if any of these scenarios you say, oh, it's okay, baby, the mean old sensei doesn't know what he's doing, we'll just quit and go do something else. What do they learn? How will that change the path of their lives? I can tell you because I've stayed in touch with many of the parents who've allowed their children to quit, and I can tell you it's often not very pretty. Now, forgive me if I think I might know some things you don't know. Yes, I'm old. I'm a successful parent, and I've been doing this for over 40 years. I've seen it change lives for the better, and this is not just some entertaining activity for your kid. We especially see this in young parents who have yet to figure out that their child isn't qualified to make decisions for themselves yet. By the way, the sooner you learn that lesson, the better. The better for you, the better for your child, and the better for your home. Do I believe in letting kids make decisions? Sure, it's empowering, but let them choose between broccoli or green beans. Don't let them choose whether or not they eat vegetables. Let them choose what pajamas to wear, but you get to pick out the ones that they get to choose from. Let them choose to go to martial arts before they do the dishes or afterwards. Doing the dishes and going to martial arts aren't choices, but you're empowering them by letting them decide. Get with me if you need my help to set up an in-home reward system for positive reinforcement and encouragement of positive behavior. Let me use my education, please. I'm here to help. Now, do you really think I trained overseas? I got a teaching degree and a master's degree in psychology so that I could run a children's entertainment center? I know you've been lied to. People lie to you every day in the news and social media. It's hard to know who to trust. We have this code we recite at the end of the class and we live by it. But look at the school. Look at our history of over 200 black belts. These are not piddly 2-year black belts from a McDojo. These take 4.5, 5, even 6 years of serious hard work. They don't get them, they earn them. It's hard. It's supposed to be hard. That's what makes it worthwhile. If everybody could get them, what would it be worth? Now, I can tell you this, people come to me after their black belt and often tell me that had they known how important this was going to be, how valuable the lessons they learned from doing this were going to be, they would have signed up sooner, and parents often say they would have done it themselves too. Now, we have people who have shopped other schools and many who have even trained in other schools before finding us. They know this is different. My background, my highly trained staff, our dedication to the students and to what we do makes this incredibly different. Now, I hate to badmouth other people, but does the school that runs like a daycare really want to change lives, or are they just trying to pocket as much cash as possible? Does the sports school that teaches just one aspect of the martial arts really care about you or your child being able to defend themselves in a real street altercation, or are they just building a false sense of confidence so they can promote your kid along? If we weren't the best school, guess what I would be doing? I'd be working hard, doing everything in my power to become the best. We still do that, by the way. We're a part of some big organizations. MAIA, the Martial Arts Industry Association, and CMA, the Championship Martial Arts. And we used to be part of PROMAC, Professional Martial Arts College, just so that we can keep our fingers on the pulse of the best practices for how to run our schools and teach our students. Things change here all the time because we find better ways to do things to benefit our students. Schedule time with me or my staff and tell us what goals you have, and we'll help map out the path to help your child reach those goals. Remember, kids, their goal is just to have fun. But your job is to recruit the best team to help raise your child to become the best version of themselves. That's what we do. It's who we are. Han Chi out.